what would be the pitfalls then that people should try to avoid when they start launching a business or they want to bring an idea to the market?
Well, I think in many ways it's sort of the same things
Hmm.
that you have to get right before you start are the things that maybe you can lose track of when you're up and running. So as you're going through the process, and as you have different pressures on you to change the product or change the market or whatever it is, you just
Hmm.
have to make sure that you keep your customer squarely in your sights and that you understand how you're going to reach your customer, whether you're going to be out there in person selling them the product,
Hmm.
or whether you're going to be working with a local partner organization, or whether you're going to be hiring a local team, and understanding basically always sort of working back those steps from your customer to you, and how are we gonna reach them? Because if you kind of lose track of that, then you can spend a lot of time, um, making not making progress in the right direction. I think that would be kind of like the number one pitfall.
Hmm.
Um, and there are just always so many different distractions when you start a company, especially if it's a social impact company. A lot of people will just want to be involved, want you to do things, and it may or may not be good for the company and for your team. Uh, and so staying focused is incredibly important on what the next tasks are. For example, we get demand from all around the world. We get emails from Africa, from Asia, from South America, from within the United States and Europe. People want this for
Wow.
their backyard gardens, and we just can't do it all. So we have, as a company, decided that we're going to focus on India and China exclusively for now. I mean, even within India and China, those markets are enormous, and
Yes,
we're
huge.
absolutely overwhelmed by just those two countries. But um, we've had to focus somewhat and say no, no, we're not going to sell it. Down the street at the local gardening store because it's just going to take too much time. It's going to distract
Hmm.
us,
Hmm.
even though we get that demand. Um, yeah, so just focusing on the customer and focusing on the execution is kind of the number one thing that you have to watch out for.
And do you have a trick to stay focused? Did you write it down or something like that, or was it in a business plan, or?
We had to learn how to say no to people. We had to learn
Yeah.
how to say no, that doesn't make sense for us, or no, we you can't volunteer at Drip Tech
Hmm.
because it's a distraction for us, or no, we're not going to ship 5 systems to some random place, or go and speak at this sort of conference that doesn't really make sense for us. Like we I had to learn how to say no.
So you learn it a lot, I suppose, especially with all people that would like to get the access to your product and your system.
But it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to
Yes,
have.
it's better to say no than to wait until somebody's coming to you to ask for your product. That's indeed great. And about being focusing, are you only focused to the irrigation system, or did you start working, if it's not confidential for sure, but did you
Sure.
start working on other project right now to launch new initiatives in those countries?
Well, so one of the great things is that if you stay focused on these customers and if you work with them, and you start to bring your product or solution to market, and you have innovation and creativity
Mm-hmm.
infused throughout your organization, then you'll just see all of these other needs constantly, and we'll be getting feedback from the field. Oh, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we provide this other solution? And it's another opportunity for distraction.
Right.
Uh, um, but sometimes it's important to it's always important to look at what that feedback is that you're getting about your product, and about other potential product opportunities, and then put it through the same rigorous evaluation process
Mm-hmm.
of saying, okay, um, how much time is it going to take for us to develop this other sort of accessory or other product, and should we invest that time versus just selling more drip irrigation to
Mm-hmm.
more people who need it. So I mean, it's all about uh, your comparative advantage and what your opportunity cost is for doing new product development. We see that agricultural productivity and specifically water efficiency
Mm-hmm.
is an enormous problem that's not going away. And drip irrigation is one way to solve that, but there are a lot of other potential solutions that we could provide as a company as we build our brand, as we build our access to these customers.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of potential complementary products that we might offer.